plus. Again, felt like that was a little bit of a harsh critic, but you like to see that, right?
Yeah.
Said, look, we got the win, but there's some things, Baldy, that he probably wants to improve on. And now, as you get this weekend of practice, what do you feel like this has done for the quarterback competition and for Shedeur earning more opportunity?
Well, he got that opportunity because of, Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel were banged up. Okay, so he took advantage of it, got the start, got himself 49 snaps. But, this week they're going to Philadelphia. They play the Eagles next Saturday. They're scrimmaging 2 days at NovaCare against the Eagles. So let's see the reps that he gets. I would think that he should get more of an opportunity like he did in this game to see if he can follow this up right now.
Yeah, for sure. And what I want to see is just some consistency. Doing it once is good, but let's see you do it again. As far as the QB competition, he got to play in the game. Dylan Gabriel did not get to play in the game, so I think he'll get a fair shake. Let's see what he can do in the game, and then that's where we start having the conversation.
That's right.
You got to allow them to both get their reps in the game, but what Shedeur did is he took advantage of his opportunity, eyes downfield, and what I enjoyed the most is he rolled out to the left early in the game and overthrew a receiver. Later on that 2-minute drive, he rolled out to the right and realized the throw I made earlier, I put too much on it. So he put a little more touch on this one, so that shows growth with understanding and remembering what I did wrong and improving on that.
My favorite throw is both feet firmly planted in the end zone. The guy's got him around at his feet, and then the dig ball right there. I think it was Gage Larvidan that come across the middle there, right on the money. That's about as high pressure as it gets right there, standing in your own end zone.
It is, and he got hit on that play too. And, the thing is, being out at practice last week, he was getting fourth-team reps. And so he was getting very few reps with any of the starting offense, and he goes out there and he plays like that without much reps. I can imagine if he got more and more, even more comfortable with the guys around him, what he might be able to do.
Yeah, but
Bro's talking about
but that's the NFL. I tell people all the time, if you don't understand how the NFL works, when a starter is in during game week, they get all the reps. The backup quarterbacks run the scout team. They run the other team's offense. So you have to be prepared mentally. You got to be locked in at all times. And then when you get in the game, you can have performances like this because you've been visualizing, been watching the tape, but you don't get a lot of reps for you to back up, especially during game week.
You don't, Gerald, but he did take advantage of the opportunity. This was a great opportunity. Guys were banged up. No Joe Flacco. He gets the start. He took advantage of it, and I give him a grade higher than a C+.
Yeah, I would
but
too.
If he wants a slow play, that's okay.
I think we're firmly in the B range.
It's probably the scrambles, like what we talked about. He probably didn't like the retreating that he did. He probably didn't like that. Probably some throws he wanted back.
Sure.
But you love to see that from your young quarterback.
And look, he said all the right things as well. Was talking about couldn't have been able to do that without the offensive line playing well. And again, this wasn't a ton of starters out there with him, right? No. We didn't see Jerry Jeudy out there, right?
You didn't see the tight end.
Exactly.
You didn't see the starting running backs.
So I think that's important. So the next 2 games for the Browns, August 16th, the Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Browns visiting the Eagles. Yeah. It'll be live right here on NFL Network, as will the preseason finale, 1 o'clock Eastern time, when they host the Rams on August 23rd. Again, both those games right here on NFL Network. All right, still to come here on NFL. In for the 1-yard score. Titans fall, though, 29-7. So, looking at Cam Ward, Baldy, what would you really want to see from him as you move forward here? Again, this is a Tennessee team, obviously, that coming off, the record they had a year ago with the opportunity to take Cam. So try to find some of that rhythm here and make some of these plays.
Yeah, look, you want to lead the offense. You want to have the offense, be productive, score points. So, converting third downs, hitting the open receivers, taking care of the football, just some of the basics. What we're seeing here is him trusting. He's well protected here, but he's also staying in the pocket. He's bouncing on his toes. He's ready to throw. He looks very comfortable from the pocket. Good throw, nice catch right there. Ridley going low to catch it. Ridley will do that for you. I thought he hit his receivers in stride. He hit moving targets right here. He gets rid of the ball quickly. I think he's seeing the field real well right here. This is kind of what you want to see more of. You just like to see him out there on the field longer as we go along.
Yeah, we hear so much about his mentality, his competitive nature. We've seen that, he's getting into it with defensive linemen. You heard that he's hearing the play call, but he's still talking over here, and you just talk about his mentality. I don't know if anybody paid attention, but the score was 10-0.
Yeah.
It was in the second quarter, and he knew my time might be coming up. So he wanted to go put points on the board, and that drive you seen, he went and put points on the board. That's what you want from your young quarterback, your future leader, your leader of the future. You want a guy who's that competitive and understands, if I'm going to take this team to the next level, we have to score points, and he did that.
Yeah, look, I think there's so much that you like about Cam Ward, that suddenness, right? Suddenness with the way the ball comes out of his hand, and then with the way that he can process it, too, and then go from, hey, I recognize it, and then, bam, I'm executing that play for Brian Callahan. A lot to build on there for Cam Ward. Let's move to another first-round quarterback here. Jackson Dart, just a minute for the Giants. Russell Wilson did get the start, though, for Brian Daboll against the Bills in Orchard Park, and he connected early on here with really a nice drive. Only one completion. In fact, it was the last throw of the day and ended up forcing a field goal. So in comes Jackson Dart. And Dart, man, showed you why the Giants wanted to trade back to the first round.
I mean, it's a big-time throw. From the pocket, under pressure, put it out there for Jordan right there for the touchdown.
Well, Jordan Humphrey comes down with Dart's touchdown pass. He led 3 scoring drives. In comes Jameis Winston, third quarterback into the game, and he finds Gunnar Olszewski, another score for the Giants. They win at 34-25. Dart, 12-19, 100 yards and a touchdown. So, Gerald, Brian Daboll has said that Russell Wilson is QB1, but more performances like this, and maybe you're starting to kind of, maybe plant a few seeds of doubt there.
Yeah, I think that Russell Wilson is QB1, and I think he should be QB1 because we've gotten into this microwave society where we want everything to be sped up.
Yeah.
When you got a guy that's that talented, just let him sit and learn. He still has a lot to learn. He has God-given abilities. We know what Brian Daboll can do with a guy of his skill set. We see what he did with Daniel Jones, but you got this guy who's athletic, Jackson Dart, who's athletic. You can do a lot of different things offensively with him. He might even run the ball some because he's so shifty.
Yeah.
He can make all the throws. But I don't see the need to rush him into the starting lineup when you got a Russell Wilson who's seasoned and can do enough to keep your team afloat.
They're not going to do that, Gerald. Yeah. I mean, Russell is a guy. But there's two next-level stats that I think are worth noting about Jackson Dart here. Throws under 2.5 seconds, he was 8 of 11, all right, for 117 yards. And then under pressure, he was 4 of 7 for 64 yards and that touchdown. So, I mean, he saw pressure. He got rid of the ball quickly. He beat him from the pocket. He extended some plays. There's a lot of things to like. You're going to get another opportunity. But this Russell Wilson has been named a starter. He gets the first-team reps. Almost, you go to practice, he gets all the first-team reps. But Dart's taking advantage of the time that he got out there today.
Well, look, I mean, you look at the touchdown throw in particular, I think that's a perfect example of a lot of the things you're talking about there. There was a blitz coming, right? He was under pressure, got hit, threw it 20-plus in the air, and then it was still released in under 2.5 seconds.
And the advantage of having a guy that's talented that can sit and learn from a vet. There's a guy down in Kansas City. I don't know if y'all ever heard of him. His name is Patrick Mahomes. He sat behind Alex Smith. And then year 2, I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but that's what you can do when you have a guy that's this talented, that has a vet that's in place. Sit the year, learn, and then when you hit the ground running.
Well, the other guy that's really talented, the first-round pick of the Giants, Abdul Carter. Like, I went back and watched his tape. He played 6 plays, Joe. Like, he won on 3 of his 6 plays. Here he is against Deion Dawkins, just flashing inside, forcing Trubisky outside the pocket right here, and he gets crushed pretty good. You watched him another time right here. You're going to see him just turn the corner right here. His ability just to bend and get around that corner, force the quarterback to step up. And then you see him over the right guard, who's a very good right guard, Osiris Torrance right here, beats him inside, gets right to Trubisky, and hits him. The pass got completed. But 3 of his 6 plays, he won his one-on-one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, with a positionless defensive line that was already this good last year, you add Abdul Carter and I don't know.
Sexy Dexy in the middle.
You got Sexy Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, who's already Spider-Man.
Yeah.